Hello. So now, under this mitochondria, this is a second video. Under this mitochondria, we are going to talk about ultra structure of mitochondria. Ultra structure of mitochondria. Ultra structure of mitochondria. So usually, mitochondria is a double membranous cell organelle. Mitochondria is double membranous cell organelle. Double membranous cell organelle. And see, it is a double membranous cell organelle. As I told you that it is a saucer shape, almost right. Outer membrane, this is called what, ma? Outer membrane. Outer membrane. And outer membrane is a smooth membrane. Outer membrane is smooth membrane. It is a smooth membrane. That means it doesn't have any folds. But whereas inner membrane is, it is not a smooth membrane. It shows tubular infoldings into the matrix or invasinations into the matrix. Those tubular infoldings or invasinations into the matrix are named as cristae. Cristae. These tubular infoldings of inner membrane named as cristae. Cristae. And the space between outer membrane and inner membrane, this is inner membrane, is called as perimitochondrial space. Is called as perimitochondrial space. Perimitochondrial space. And the substances which are present between the cristae are called as matrix. Matrix. The substances which are present between the cristae are called matrix. Matrix. Then this cristae will increase the surface area while the enzymatic actions are going on, right? That means cristae will help the increasing the surface area for enzymatic actions. And then in this inner membrane, suppose this outer membrane, it doesn't have any infoldings. This is inner membrane. In this inner membrane, there are projections are present. There are many number of projections are present. These are called oxysomes. Oxysomes. The number of oxysomes, the average number of oxysomes per mitochondria. The number of oxysomes per mitochondria would be 10 power 4 to 10 power 5 in number. The number of oxysomes per mitochondria would be 10 power 4 to 10 power 5 in number. And see, the oxysomes has two important sites. Those sites are called, one site, suppose this is the oxysome, this is called stalk. The stalk will be represent F naught or CF naught. That means F naught, CF naught, coupling factor 0. This is called stalk. This stalk is embedded into the inner membrane. Embedded. That means it is being present inside the inner membrane, and this stalk has one hydrophobic proteins. That means this stalk contains hydrophobic proteins. And then the head projected part, which is called head region. This is called head region, or otherwise called F1 or CF1 particles. F1 or CF1. This head part is having many, that means five number of hydrophilic proteins are present. What is the number of how many number of hydrophilic proteins are present with the head part of this oxysome? 5 hydrophilic proteins are present. 5 hydrophilic proteins. Not only that, it is also contain enzymes. This enzyme is nothing but ATP is plus inorganic phosphate. This ATPase enzyme is present. This ATPase enzyme is required for the conversion of ADP plus inorganic phosphate to form into ATP. This process will be called oxidative phosphorylation. And oxidative phosphorylation. In this inner membrane, there is another respiratory reaction will be taken place. That is nothing but an enzymatic respiratory reaction, that is called elementary. That means electron transport chain reaction also taken place in this inner membrane. Right. With this, ultimately what is formed, oxidative phosphorylation also taken place in this inner membrane. So this is about the ultrastructure of mitochondria. Right. Now, and finally, we'll discuss the functions of mitochondria. Next, the functions of mitochondria. Mitochondria is called, as I told you already, mitochondria is called powerhouse of the cell. Or biofurnace. as it is performing oxidative phosphorylation results ATP generated. ATP generated. So because of this ATP, it is otherwise called powerhouse of the cell or biofurnace. Biofurnace. This one. The second one is here the potential energy which is present in matrix of mitochondria is transforming into kinetic energy in the form of chemical energy, that is ATP. This is the another one. The next one is mitochondria contain mitogenes. Mitochondria contains mitogenes. These mitogenes can transfer the characteristic feature of mother cells to daughter cells. Mother cells to daughter cells. So mitochondria is one important thing. Mitochondria is autonomous cell organelle. Why it's called autonomous cell organelle? Because it has the matrix of mitochondria contain its own double-stranded DNA is present. And all three types of RNA present. 70S ribosomes are present. 70S ribosomes also present. So that's why it undergoes transcription, means duplication of mitochondria. That means replication of mitochondria due to having its own DNA. So therefore it is otherwise called autonomous cell organelles as like a plastids. This is important thing. And the multiplication of mitochondria will be occurred by means of fission. These are important points regarding the mitochondria. Here what we need to understand about, what are the points we need to keep in mind is it has a double membranous cell organelle. Outer membrane is smooth, inner membrane is infoldings are there, known as cristae. On this cristae, there are two important reactions have taken place here. One is oxidative phosphorylation during Krebs cycle and as well as electron transport system. The other one will be electron transport system, right? So these two reactions are taken place in this inner membrane, right? The matrix of mitochondria contain single double-stranded DNA, single in number double-stranded DNA, all three types of RNA, 70S type of ribosomes. That's why it undergoes replication. That is the reason why it is considered as semi-autonomous cell organelle. We can call it as semi-autonomous cell organelle, right? And this is about the ultrastructure of this. And here one important thing, there is oxysomes. The number of oxysomes we need to remember, right? And the average number of oxysomes are about 10 power 4 to 10 power 5 in number. And the oxysomes contain two important portions, stalk and head. Stalk contain hydrophobic proteins, whereas head contain, there are 5 hydrophilic proteins are present, right? And also enzymes are present, right? Because of that enzymes, it undergoes for oxidative phosphorylation. Results ATP is formed. So as it is stored ATPs in mitochondria is considered as a powerhouse of the cell or biofurnace. All the respiration, in respiration cycle we have seen 4 steps. Out of all 4 steps, except glycolysis, the remaining all 4 steps are taken place in the matrix of mitochondria. What are the next steps? Link reaction, Krebs cycle, and electron transport system. These 3 steps are taken place in the matrix of mitochondria, and except glycolysis. So this is about the important about mitochondria. All the best. Have a nice day. God bless you.